Shaquille O'Neal is so much more than a famous basketball legend. The truth about Shaq? Well, the truth is that Shaquille O'Neal has made more money from his smart, wise franchise investments than most professional athletes make their entire career. Just amazing, isn't it? Now, Shaq has turned his love for hamburgers, French fries, donuts, fitness into a multi-million-dollar empire. Today, we're going to dive into his playbook to find out how you can build an empire, or at least build wealth for you and your family. Welcome back to Franchise Prospectors, where we explore paths to successful entrepreneurship or business ownership. And we help you to transform your career through franchising. Shaq just did not stumble into franchising. It was a very strategic move on his part. He's very business savvy. Now, why would he strategically select franchising? Well, franchising primarily because it produces steady cash flows. Also, franchising comes with built-in brand recognition, something that's very important. You don't have to invest a lot of money in building the brand from scratch because the brand is already up and running in other markets. So they just simply migrate or copy those marketing strategies to your local market. Thirdly, Shaq realized that he wanted something or brands that align with his personal belief systems and with his public persona. From fast food chains like Five Guys and Krispy Kreme, Shaq invests in brands that support his lifestyle, and it ensures that his involvement is authentic and that his fans will obviously link his public persona with those brands. So let's break down the investments that Shaq has made, starting with Five Guys and Krispy Kreme. Did you know that Shaq has invested in more than 155 Five Guys burgers and fries locations? He has divested himself of those. He sold those off, but that's how he really got his start in the franchise industry. Shaq at one time owned 10% of the total system-wide number of units or outlets at 1,500. Shaq also has made a big investment in Krispy Kreme donuts. In fact, Shaq is one of the key individuals that helps to direct strategy within Krispy Kreme. In fact, Shaq has also made big investments with Papa John's. He also sits on the board of directors of Papa John's. So think of that. What a win-win situation. Shaq gets to make the investment. Papa John's gets to benefit from that star quality or the impact that Shaq has. Shaq's portfolio includes more than just food franchises. In fact, Shaq has made investments into fitness brands, Alphabet, Google, the parent company of Google. He's made investments into Lyft, Ring, Vitamin Water, and the list goes on. Essentially, he's able to make these other investments because of the millions of dollars that he's making on the franchise units and operations that he's made wise investments in. Also, Shaq has learned a lot of good lessons since his basketball days. He's learned the importance of diversification. So Shaq's made investments across a number of industries within the franchise space. And of course, that helps him to mitigate risk. And Shaq is not a passive investor. Shaq makes, the industry helps him find the right investments in terms of the franchise units that he falls in love with. And then Shaq makes the investment. The industry helps him find a top flight general manager or operations manager or supervisor to run that operation. He then compensates him or her based upon the financial performance of that particular operation. The other thing that Shaq makes certain of is that the brand that he falls in love with has to align with his personal values. He got this advice from Jeff Bezos, the founder and CEO, of course, of Amazon. Only make investments in businesses that impact people's lives. And Shaq even mentioned in an article in the Wall Street Journal just a few years back that once he really understood that principle of investing from Jeff Bezos, And once he started to execute on that one strategy or one principle, he mentioned that his empire quadrupled in size. So what's the takeaway there? Only make investments in something that you personally will benefit from and that you see would benefit and positively impact the lives of others. I put together a comprehensive funding guide that goes into greater detail about a plethora of different funding strategies for your franchise. This funding guide goes deeper into the various nuances and the many different advantages and some disadvantages to different funding strategies. And this funding guide is going to help you maximize your ability to succeed in whatever franchise you ultimately decide to invest in. So what are some of the lessons that we can learn from Shaq's experience and success investing in the franchise space and investing in general? Well, firstly, financial management is crucial. It's key. You have to do your due diligence and looking at the financials of any particular brand or its entire operation. And typically that's done through which document? The FDD, the Franchise Disclosure Document. Once you get into the discovery phase, you're going to be able to ask a lot of intelligent questions to not just the senior leadership team, but they're also going to introduce you to some of their key players within their system or within their organization. Shaq certainly learned from previous investments, even within the franchise industry. If you do some research on Shaq's franchise investments, he made some mistakes early on. But what's the key? When we make mistakes, I don't really look at them as mistakes. I look at them as learning opportunities, right? So do we learn from our mistakes? And then we're able to hopefully not make those mistakes as we move forward. And that's what Shaq did. And the second thing that we can learn as a lesson from Shaq is invest in what you know. Invest in what you know truly impacts the lives of others in a favorable way. Third lesson that we can really learn from Shaq is don't go it alone. There's so much information out there. There's so many investors. I mentioned a number of them earlier. Some of my favorites, again, are Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. Look at those folks. There's a lot of information out there about the type of investments that they've made successfully over the years. And finally, franchising, as we've learned from Shaq, it's a great way to invest in a proven business model with proven methods and procedures that helps us to mitigate or minimize the risk. You've heard the statistic before that when a franchisee begins business, 5 years later, 93% of the time, according to a recent study, that franchisee is still in business compared to only 48% for a new business that's being started from scratch. And it's not just about the money for Shaq. Shaq is really big into obviously making a net profit, but he's also big into philanthropy. He's really big into giving back to the various communities that he serves. For example, some of his franchise income and empire, he's used to make a recent investment into a college community course that's all online. He believes that everyone, every child in America, and every adult in America should have the opportunity and access to low, affordable, quality education. So investments in franchising can be very good to help us with other investments in giving back to our local communities or our key causes in life. So Shaquille O'Neal's experience and stories actually help us to appreciate that strategy is involved, yes, but with due diligence and homework, learning from our mistakes, looking at the math of any franchise, it's a way for any and everyone to build long-term wealth for them, for you and your family. If you want to learn more about franchises as it relates to celebrities, let me know what other celebrities or professional athletes you would like me to review. There's so much more that you need to learn about the franchise industry, and that's why I've made a complete series of videos that goes deeper into each key topic in franchising. So Please click on the video showing on your screen now, and I'll see you there.